Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're talking with Jesse about his 2014 3.6 liter Bighorn Ram and all the mods he's got done to it. Now, our customer build pages on the site are where you can view customer photos along with their mods list to hopefully get inspired about things you can do to your own truck in the future. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all things Ram. So what do you say we connect with Jesse? Hey Jesse, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good. Thank you for taking the time to, join us talking about your beautiful blue 2014 3.6 Bighorn Ram 1500. First thing I want to ask you is, why did you end up picking that truck out of so many different ones on the market?
Well, honestly, I went into the dealership looking at a Chevy Colorado because I really kind of like the look of that truck. But the salesman says, "You ever think of the Dodge Ram?" And I said, "No, I never have." And he pulls this thing around, and I was like, okay, that's pretty color, but I'm trying to play it cool, like, oh no, I'm not into, he said, take it for a drive. And I took it for a drive, and I couldn't believe the ride. It was comfortable, it was smooth. Even that 3.6 had a lot of power.
Rams are so easy to mod. There's a ton of things you can do to them, and one of the things that you have on your truck that jumped out to me was a 2.5-inch leveling kit. What made you go with a 2.5-inch kit instead of maybe something bigger like a full 4-inch lift? I
didn't want to sacrifice ride quality, and some of the things that I've read about lift kits is that it kind of sacrifices the ride quality, and so I went with the 2.5-inch leveling kit because the price was right, one, and two, I wanted to see what the truck would look like. And then eventually maybe I will go with more of like a 4-inch lift on it, put some bigger tires on it, because that's my plan, is to put some bigger tires.
You have 285, 75, 17s. Now that comes out to roughly a 34. Now with your 34s on there, do you have any rubbing with the simple leveling kit?
No, I do not. Actually, I don't. It actually was a nice fitment. I mean, it's a 17-inch rim, which was what was stock on there. That was the first thing I had to do is change out those damn passenger tires that they put on trucks, right?
Right. The fitment on that truck looks amazing. Now, do you know by any chance off the top of your head the offset of those wheels?
It's a -12.
You just have a little bit of a poke, nothing crazy though.
Yeah, I didn't want them sticking out too far, but I do like the look, the tire sticking out past the wheel or the fender. I'm not sure that I want the fender flares yet. If I go to a bigger offset, then I would do the fender flares.
Well, at least it's nice to know that you kind of tackled the hardest part. You figured out what fits without rubbing. And those leveling kits are definitely a great way to go for fitment and, keeping that stock feel. Now, aside from that, you have a number of other appearance things. I see on the list a lot of auxiliary lighting. You have some fog lights, some auxiliary lights there. I think I saw a light bar on there. Can you tell me how you chose your light bar situation?
I kind of live somewhat out in the country. It's nice when it's really, really dark and there's deer, crossing the road. I want to be lit up so I can see what the heck is coming down the road. But I also like the look. I really like the look, and I like the LEDs, how bright they are. My wife and I do a lot of camping, so we go out in the country, and there's been times when we couldn't find the campsite, and we hit them bright lights, and boy, we find it. So.
Speaking of camping, have you thought about picking up something like the bed tent or the bed mattress for small floor camping?
I have it. 2 weeks after I bought the truck, I bought the bed tent, the bed mattress, and the connecting tent to it, and we love it.
Oh, that's awesome. I've spoken to a lot of people who actually have it but haven't put it to use yet. So it's nice to hear that that's come in handy.
Oh, it's great. My wife, she's like, I love camping, especially because I can be off the ground.
Oh, yeah. It's camping with a little bit more luxury to it.
It's pretty awesome. We've had a lot of fun.
Speaking on appearance here, you have the Barricade 4-inch oval bent side steps. Now that's a category that is incredibly saturated. So what made you land on the Barricade 4-inch?
I'm in the process now of de-chroming the whole truck. I mean, there's a lot of chrome. I like the matte black look. I like the look. I want the bent oval, because the ones that were on there were just the chrome straight 4-inch or 5-inch.
At first glance, it kind of looks like you could have picked those up, from the dealership, like it's a factory side step. But when you look at those smaller details, you can really see the bent ends, and it starts to look a little bit more custom. And they're super useful, obviously, but they look great on the truck. And I think once you get, especially the front bumper to be matte black or just blacked out to get rid of the chrome, I think that's really going to round out that look.
Oh yeah, and that's my intent. Is I really just love that flat black against the blue, and just to de-chrome it. It used to be the big thing was chrome in the 90s when I was a 20-year-old. I was like, chrome.
Chrome is everywhere. It's definitely more of the retro styling now.
So now I'm like, with that big truck, I want flat black. I think it just looks better that way.
Now, I want to move a little bit under the hood and talk about some performance things. And I see from the pictures here, you have a K&N cold air intake. How did you land on that particular cold air intake?
The K&N has a great reputation in the industry. It made sense to spend the money on that versus some cheaper model.
Once you put that on there, did you feel any power difference there from, acceleration and throttle response?
Oh yeah, I did feel a little bit of a horsepower, and I love the sound. I mean, when you step into it, the thing it roars, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. A friend of mine asked blast packs. I said, no, that's intake.
Well, it's great that you're having other people notice it. That's how impactful it can be. And I think sound is something a lot of people may overlook when shopping for an intake. Sound is a huge thing that comes along with that.
Oh yeah, it roars. I'm telling you, my neighbors were like, were you in a hurry the other day? Because I was stepping into it, and I said, just clearing out the cobwebs.
I think that goes a long way for guys with V6s too.
I wasn't sure that I wanted the 3.6, but like I said, when I took that thing for a test drive and I hit the gas, it put me in my seat. I was impressed with the 3.6. And the gas mileage on that 3.6 is actually pretty phenomenal. I mean, the road trips that we've taken, I'm hitting 22 miles a gallon. It's phenomenal, that 3.6. So I've been happy with it.
And that's actually really impressive too, because you have the 34-inch tires. To hear that you're still hitting 22, that's pretty impressive.
I think the filter has something to do with that a little bit, And then you'll see on my mods list, I put that pedal commander on there as well. And if I keep it in econo mode and just have normal throttle response, it's helped me to maintain my gas mileage to some degree.
That's a good point too. The pedal commander is something a lot of guys pick up for their trucks who may not want to put a tuner on and then have to worry about warranty issues possibly. So the pedal commander is obviously going to give you that better acceleration and throttle response. Well, the setup you have now is really nice. I think it looks like almost a perfect daily driver.
It went from a grandpa truck. I mean, it was just plain Jane blue and these chrome ass Dodge wheels and and it just wasn't my style, and I like the skulls, and so I've got skulls on the back window, vinyl graphics, and on the side with the skulls, and going with the whole black theme. And as a daily driver, it turns some heads. I mean, I get a lot of compliments on it.
And I see you've got the Sec 10 matte black hood decal too, so I can see you start making moves into the matte black realm.
Yeah, well, and that's funny. That story's funny because I came out to the garage to go to work one morning, and the shelves and everything on the shelves were sitting on my hood. And yeah, they fell off the wall. And so there was a big scratch right in the middle of the hood. And I'm like, well, that's going to be a $500 deductible or a $35 vinyl decal. Boom.
Yeah, a lot of people may not think of that too. If there's simple damage that you might not want to pay hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, decals can cover it up, and it spices up the look of the truck. So I'm glad you got to take advantage of that.
It covered the scratch, and I had to pay for the paintless dent removal. But considering what I could have paid for paint, it was a no-brainer.
If you want to see Jesse's build list along with his profile pictures, maybe get inspired for your own ride, you can hit the link below if you're watching on YouTube, or just check them out on the site. Now, I kind of want to pick your brain about what you're thinking for the future. Now, sticking to that matte black theme, you kind of want to get rid of chrome. And you could paint your bumper, but would you consider maybe like an off-road bumper, like a Barricade bumper to match the side steps?
I am looking at some of the bumpers that are out there, but I'm also weighing my options. Does vinyl wrap work? The fact that I like to go off-roading, though, vinyl wrap, I don't know how that would hold up against rock and tree debris and all that other stuff, so I'm probably leaning more towards the bumpers.
Not to mention the vinyl wouldn't give you the benefits of the bumper as far as protection and ground clearance, especially if you're going off-road. Pre-runner bumper is one of the better ones for ground clearance because it comes up so high, it's got that tubular construction, and your approach angles are so good.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what I want. I want something that's going to last, that I don't have to replace every couple years, and that also has other options. Because with some of these new bumpers, heck, you can put winches in them. You can, tow hooks or LED lights. And they basically come with accessories for the damn bumper. And
what about the rest of the truck? Are you thinking about anything else?
Well, I'm going to do catback exhaust. I intend to put a windshield light bar across the front. Probably, like I said, some bigger wheels and tires. I'm not sure yet on those. I mean, the ones that I have look really, really good, but then I see others and I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that, Yeah, there's so many options. In the interior, I've done blue lighting. LED lights, switched out all the amber light or whatever they had in there. And then under the hood, I'd like to take the original 3.6 cal that came off before that K&N was put on and I'm going to, I think I'm going to see if I can't get that painted the same color as the truck and modified to fit around the K&N, just to give it a little bling underneath there. And I got a tonneau cover already, but then I've also got LED lights in the bed, and I rigged a switch so when the tailgate drops, it automatically comes on so I can see what's underneath the tonneau cover. And it actually sets mood lighting for the tent too.
That's always a plus.
So yeah, I mean, those are some of the things that I want to do right now initially. And then of course, I'm always looking on your website and looking to see what's coming out new and seeing if I like something, and you never know.
Jesse, you've built a beautiful daily driver. Thank you for taking the time, man. I appreciate it. Have a good day, all right?
You too, brother.
That's gonna wrap this one up, guys. We just talked to Jesse about his 2014 3.6 Bighorn Ram, and if you wanna see his mods list along with his pictures and other customers, check out the customer build pages on the site, or if you're watching on YouTube, click the link below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for all product reviews, future news, and Ram content. Keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.